Dementia Researcher with a blog and a rating.
Senior Academic Promotions. Senior Academic Promotion Season to grades 9 and 10 opens in autumn in many higher education institutions in the UK. This blog entry is written for all, but dedicated to women. Women are underrepresented in senior academic positions, making up only 28% of UK professors, and this gap widens precisely in the transition to grades 8 and 9. In the Institute of Neurology, where I work, there is a 40% gender gap. I went through the senior promotion process in 2021 and my promotion to grade 9 was made effective in October 2023. Here I share some learnings and tips from my experience. 1. Prepare in advance and become familiar with the process as soon as possible. Getting to know the promotion process will allow you to identify the gaps in your CV. A year before I applied, I disclosed my intentions to my department leads. My attention was then directed towards the colleague who had just been promoted that year. Her CV was impressive. That was useful. Far from feeling intimidated, I used her as a benchmark. That helped identify a gap in my CV: funding. Because I spotted, I was able to address it and get my CV in better shape for the coming promotions round. 2. Organize your merits according to the framework. The year before I applied, I started a spreadsheet, organized in different tabs, one per each one of the 4 categories contained in the academic career framework. I started populating them with everything I had: talks, publications, interviews, blogs, organized by dates, including hyperlinks if appropriate. 3. Attend the workshop. My institute records an annual senior promotions workshop which is helpful to watch. It contains guidance about how to meet the framework criteria. Something that was highlighted in the workshop was the importance to show seniority. For instance, lost author papers, proof that you can lead a team, waive your international influence. I used that information to emphasize those aspects of my application. 4. Download the official forms. Get the CV application template. This is the main body of your application. The publication list preparation. We produce it via UCL's research publication systems in UCL, which is quite handy, and personal circumstances. You also need to prepare your personal statement, which is 2 sides of A4, where you indicate how you have demonstrated personal impact in relation to the criteria set out in the academic careers framework. It's like a mini version of your application, but very important. It's your pitch. 5. Find an example of an application of someone who has recently promoted and is happy to share it with you. That was life-saving for me because it gave me a winning example of how to organize the information, how to use the language, and what it was important to say. 6. Be aware of gender bias. If you are a woman, I recommend you to watch a tutorial about unconscious gender bias. How and why women receive less support and are less credited in academia. Being educated in gender bias protects you against your own gender bias and makes you more likely to lean in. 7. Personal statement. 2 pages, concise, to the point. Make sure it is a bombardment of factual merits. Start with 2 lines about where you started and where you are now, so the panel sees progression. In the rest of the sections, number of publications, pieces of opinion, policy reports, citations, age index, open access. Figures in bold, make them stand out. How much funding have you been awarded? Give the full amount. Prizes, awards, size of the team you manage. Figures in bold. Remember, how many invited talks, how many of them international? Talks are very important. They show recognition. How many as a keynote speaker? Again, recognition. Have you been invited to write review articles, serve as peer reviewer, grant reviewer, associate editor? Do you sit in international boards? How many PhD and master students have you supervised? Be pointy and emphasize leadership. 8. You don't need to meet perfection, just the threshold. And some other bits. I scrutinized the profile of other people recently promoted across my department before starting to write my CV. That gave me an idea of the minimum required. This is key. When you look at the career framework, it may feel overwhelming, but remember, you are not supposed to meet all criteria in full, just enough to enter that level. Women are easily intimidated by the imperfections in our CVs. Don't doubt yourself. Count your merits. Be confident. Be brave. You lose more if you don't try. 9. Secure support of people with experience and who wish you well. I asked a combination of academic colleagues of different seniority to look at my application. Most of them are friends. They helped with improving the writing and making it clear, but they also helped with moral support. Academia can be a very lonely territory, particularly for women. Do not underestimate the power of friendship to keep you going. 10. Get your internal deadlines right. The deadline for submission is usually around December, but your department may have an internal deadline around October to allow internal screening. Applications that receive the support of the head of department usually go to the main executive committee to decide if the candidate is strong enough to pass to the final round. Make sure you are aware of these deadlines. I hope these tips are helpful. Good luck with your application if you go for it.
Thank you for listening. Join the Dementia Research bloggers and share your own views.